Many years ago, when I was a teenager, I heard a Christian speaker. His name was George Verwer, head of Operation Mobilisation, and he gave a very memorable talk. And he coined a phrase I've heard him and other people use many times since, which is this: that God works in different ways, in different people, in different situations, at different times. And I think that is so true. I found it certainly so in my own experience, and possibly you have in yours. And we see in the Bible, of course, that God speaks and works on countless occasions, but he is a God of variety. And he works and speaks in so many different ways. And I want to bring to you in these next few minutes a chapter from the Old Testament, 1 Kings chapter 18, a very simple example of God working in two different ways within one chapter. And we come to the prophet Elijah and wicked King Ahab, and we have Ahab having annoyed the king by saying that there would be no rain in Israel for 3 years, and King Ahab feeling that Elijah was personally responsible for the famine that resulted. And then Elijah gets up one day and he announces to the king, today is the day when the drought is over and when the heavens will open and the rain will come. And we get that at the beginning of 1 Kings chapter 18. There's a much more famous story that then takes place, which we're going to come on to in a moment. But then right at the end of the chapter, we have the fulfillment of Elijah's prophecy. Strange description of Elijah at the top of the mountain with his servant, the servant having to go and look at the weather and come back, and went 7 times. And then when he came back the final time, what he says is that he had seen a little cloud like a man's hand rising from the sea. And then a little time after that, the sky grew black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. That's an example of God working in a relatively unspectacular way, and Elijah, an authentic prophet of God, being very accurate with his predictions. But at the heart of that chapter is something else, and that is God working in a most spectacular way. And that started off with the prophet Elijah challenging the false prophets of Baal to a contest at the top of the mountain. And if you know the story, you would know that the prophets of Baal called on their God to answer with fire on the bull that they had prepared, and nothing happened. And then Elijah, almost showing off by not only putting the bull and the wood on the offering, but also arranging for huge amounts of water to be poured on as well, and then calling on his God, who answered with fire. And what a dramatic fulfillment of Elijah's confidence that the true God would show himself to be God, working in a spectacular way while his offering was totally consumed. We have this rather pathetic picture of the prophets of Baal limping and bleeding from all their efforts to call on Baal to answer, the true God working in a spectacular way. And in the midst of that story, we read Elijah calling out to the Lord God, answer me, O Lord, that this people may know. Know what? Answer, Lord, that this people may know that you, O Lord, are God. It was as if he was saying to all those who are with him on the mountain, Lord God, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, creator of this universe, you are not an idea, you are not a tradition, you're not a religion, you're not a projection of our imagination, you're not a force, but you are God, the only God, the true God, the living God, the active God, the fire-sending God, the sin-hating, idolatry-destroying, prayer-hearing, personal God. And amidst these difficult times, I hope that you are trusting in that God, in that vibrant God, in that powerful God, in that compassionate God, in that God who is in control of everything, who is able to help you through these next few days and weeks and months. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening.